Hello, this is Raul Garza, calling from Casper, Wyoming. This is a BT 2000 class with Corey Latta, week 7. I guess a discussion question of, is there true meaning? Can there be true meaning? Read this here. Can true meaning be found apart from God? Why or why not? Well, God created, in the Bible, in Ephesians 1 through 4, it says that He created us. He knew us before the foundations of the earth, and that He wanted us. It was His will, for His pleasure. He wanted us. So His creation in us came from God's will, His want, His desire to have us. He desired to have us. And He designed everything to fit and work just as intricately as the cosmos. And in the beginning it says that He brought the cosmos into order. That the world was in chaos, and the universe was in chaos, and He brought it all into order. So He's a God of order, and I just find all the time in our lives that, you know, people stand in a corner over there and they try to put a 5-inch bolt on a 2-inch nut, and it doesn't ever work, and it's frustrating for them. It's disruption. It's all out of order. And they continue to do this. I see people coming into the church with their problems all the time, and the problem is our communication with the Creator. And if He designed life, He designed a cow to be a cow. The cow only knows to be a cow. One day I was out on the Platte River here in Wyoming, and I was watching a duck swim, a mother duck. She had a whole bunch of little ducklets behind her, and every time she made a right turn or a left turn, they all did. And I was amazed that these little tiny little babies that were just, you know, maybe an inch or two long, automatically knew that they were ducks. Automatically knew that when Mama turned right, they turned right. You know, the miracles of life when a child's born is their psychological, spiritual instinct to know their mother, and to know to suck and to feed and these types of things. And you know, the Lord equipped us with His Word to show us who we are. And I believe that Jesus Christ came not only to die for our sins, excuse me, but to show us about life, to show us who we are, what our design was, that we were made in the image of God. I think that if Jesus Christ had solely came to die for our sins, that he would have just came and died. But He came and He grew and He taught. He taught. In the New Testament Bible, we read all about His teachings, His parables. And the thing is that man in the fallen state did not realize about His design and who He was and who we were, who we were designed after, who our Father was, who God was in our lives. And Jesus came to demonstrate our design, our identity to us, to bring back our God-given identity created in His image. And in the Bible, it tells us all the time about that God desired to have relationship with us. Jesus desired to have a relationship with us. He wanted us. And I just know that as a child, there were certain things that my parents raised me to be. And yet if I was 2 blocks away, I couldn't hear my mother speak. So I had to be in a position to hear her voice. And all the time I see people struggling in life and going through things in life. There's so many divorces anymore. addictions and the fallen world, but it doesn't have to be that way, you know. I look at people coming into the church. I look at the kids getting in trouble. I look at our society and what is going on, and it's a wild, untaught, unorganized, unordered society. And I just know that the Lord gave us the Word, the Bible, and in that Bible it tells us to read, to study. It says in Hosea 4:6, he says, my people suffer from lack of knowledge. He says, I can't use you as my priests, nor will I use your children, for if you teach them everything you know, and you know nothing, he's not going to use us. And the thing of it is through church, through fellowship, through worship, through prayer, through study in the Bible, His Word, we develop relationship. And relationship means that we've come close to Him. And we've come into and put ourselves in a position by doing these things that He asks us to do, in a position to where we could hear Him. When I'm in a fallen state and I'm not doing the things that build relationship, I'm not positioning myself to have relationship with God, how could I possibly hear Him? And so, can there be meaning to life apart from God? I don't believe there can be true meaning, for He designed me in a very specific way. So specific that my fingerprint is one of a kind. Sure, my humanness, my man, my body, we're a group, we're a people, but how intricate is the fingerprint or the DNA that I have that He created specifically for me? And in this, I know that apart from God, there's no relationship for God, and this is the purpose that I was designed. And if my purpose is to worship God, to honor God, to glorify my God, my Creator, my King, and I am not in that realm, I'm not walking in that realm, I'm not living my purpose, all I can have is dysfunction. All I can have is error. All I can have is what I see in society today. The things that people are doing, the things that people are believing in, and the trouble that it's bringing in their lives. I'm not saying that as a Christian I'm a trouble-free man, but as a Christian I have understanding of my purpose. I have understanding of my destiny. I have understanding of my God. I have understanding of my creation. And without understanding of these things, there just is no purpose. There's no life. And so I say yes. Apart from God, true meaning, I believe, and I see people, because I see people struggling with their lives every day, I believe that they don't understand their true meaning. I believe that they don't understand their true calling. I believe that they don't understand who they are, that they have no identity. Without no identity, without no meaning, without no purpose, there's frustration. You know, you often wonder why rich people commit suicide. I wonder why is it that this actor, this entertainer in Hollywood that's a multi-millionaire would commit suicide or do the things that they do. And I believe that my answer comes with the lack of God in their life. Because when there's a lack of God, there's a lack of true identity. And with a lack of true identity and purpose, life is meaningless. And so I say yes. He knew me before the foundations of the earth, Ephesians 1. He has a destiny, heaven, for me, for Christians, for this church. And He has a purpose. And in this purpose, I have direction. Because without purpose, without God, That's truly chaos. That is going right back to the confusion that was before he created. Well, I want to say thank you. This is my outlook on God. Without God, it's chaos, confusion. And we see it every day in our society here in America. Well, God bless you. Thank you for everything. I pray for purpose in all of our lives. I pray for God in all of our lives. I pray that we would learn to position ourselves in such a way that we could hear his voice, and in that have understanding about life. Because without the hearing of his voice, without the positioning in place, if I'm 10 blocks away from God, if I'm far away from anybody, I am not hearing their voice. And the only way that I can find direction in my life or meaning in my life is to be in a position just such to hear God's voice, hear his direction. Well, God bless you all. Thank you. Have a great holiday season already.